Does your skin tone automatically determine your color season? Yes, but also no. So this is me. Well, clearly it's me. I mean, even, I got on the sunglasses here, but it's only because my eyes are going through some like allergy thing where they keep tearing and it keeps messing up my under eye makeup and it makes me uneven. So I was just like, let me just throw the sunglasses on, but it's me. And this is me. But this is also Anne Hathaway. We couldn't be any more different in skin tone, and yet we're in the same color season, winter. See, there's this misconception that your skin tone plays a much bigger role in the colors that you wear than it actually does. And oftentimes this leads to people, even people who should know better, to lazily categorize people's color palettes based solely on their skin tone, which is sometimes why a lot of women who look like me tend to shy away from color analysis because, first of all, it only had pictures of white women in it, and second of all, people who know better, who should know better, categorize all of us into either dark winter or dark autumn when there's so many color variations with us that would place us in any of the seasons. So today I'm going to briefly touch on how skin tone is not as big of a factor when it comes into your color season as you might think it is, or as others might lead you to believe. And how saying things like XYZ colors look best on darker skin while ABC colors look better on lighter skin is just lazy and wrong. I'm trying out new angles and stuff here, but I just want to get up. I'm so used to standing when I do these. Matter of fact, hold up. Feels so good to be standing. Like, when I get my extra steps in and I feel free. So anyway, things that determine your color season include your undertone, so whether you're warm, neutral, or cool, your level of contrast, which is the relationship between the depth of color between your hair, your eyes, and your skin tone. So you're either high contrast, medium contrast, or low contrast. And your level of clarity. So whether your coloring is very bright, or it's quite muted, or it's somewhere in between. Now, I have a whole video breaking this down. You might want to, grab a little notebook and, a little snack, a little heating pad, a little something if you're, a little over the age of 40, like myself here, sometimes the back be hurting. However, this video, I wanted to really touch on the relationship with your skin tone and your color season. So here we go. As always, the absolute best way to determine your best colors is to have them professionally done. Especially want to go to someone who's got some good reviews, and you also probably want to go to someone who has experience with people of color, because like I said earlier on, some people who should know better don't know better. Now, why it's best to do it in person is because there's just too much room for error when it comes to different lighting and different monitors. You might have your monitor settings on something, somebody else might have their monitor certain settings on something. And even in the last video that I put up where I got my personal color analysis done in Korea, a few people were disagreeing with the color profession, and I'm like, y'all, you gotta understand that she saw me in person. Now, unless y'all are peeping through my window, I would have to say that a majority of y'all have not seen me in person. Plus, again, different lighting, your monitor settings and stuff like that. You might see one color one way, somebody seeing a color a totally different way. And see, even me, I was an image consultant way back in the day, and I would do color analysis for my clients. Even I can't just look at someone and be like, oh, you're such and such and such. Like, I might be able to place them in a broad category, but even for me, the best way to determine someone's color seasons is to drape them with the colors and to see how the colors make them look. Does it make them look alive, or does it make them look like, oh my God, somebody call 911? Now, that said, if you want to do it at home, which you can do your own colors at home because you seeing you, here's a quick and dirty way to do it. And I still want you to take a look at this full video, but this is like a supplement to the video because some people were saying like, I still don't get it. And I'm here to try to make you get it. So remember I said undertone, your level of contrast, and your clarity, whether you're muted or saturated or, somewhere in between there. How you determine these. So your undertone. The easiest way, the quickest way I would say to determine your undertone is whether or not you look good in gold or silver jewelry. Now, I want to actually add to this because there are varying shades of silver and gold jewelry. What I would suggest is if you get one of those like color swatch swatching kits. I'll leave a link to one that you can get on Amazon, but you can probably also find these by, a lot of image consultants sell these on their websites as well. So you can, probably do your little Googles and see. You probably want to use the gold and silver drape that's in these kits, because that's going to be like a pure silver and a pure gold, as opposed to like all of it. Like, you see, like this is gold, but it's not gold. You know what I mean? Now, that said, if you look better in gold, you're a warm undertone. If you look better in silver, you're a cool undertone. If you look good in both, you're neutral. Now, here's another thing that I want to kind of clear up that, I ain't say that. When you have a neutral undertone, it opens up more options for you, which is not the same as saying you can wear anything. Just saying, it opens up your options. Doesn't mean that you can wear any old thing, I mean, you could wear anything if you wanted to. Who am I to stop you? But I get the sense that if you are watching this video and you're a subscriber of this channel, that you are looking to only buy the best things that look amazing on you, because then you're going to wind up spending less money and wasting money on things that you hardly ever wear. Now, determining your level of contrast. Now, let me explain that really quickly. It has to do with the level of depth in relation to your skin tone, your eye color, and your hair color. Now, sometimes your hair color is not factored in because sometimes people dye their hair colors that shouldn't really be in their color season. However, if you have your natural hair color, then, go in and let have. But your level of contrast is the relationship between the level of depth typically between your hair, your skin tone, and your eye color, right? So, and I might have a lot of makeup missing right here. But you see how there's a lot of contrast. See how white the whites of my eyes are and how deeply brown my brown eyes are? Like, my brown eyes are very deep in tone, but the whites of my eyes are very light in tone. That is a high level of contrast. Also, there is a high level of contrast. Now, this is not my hair, but it's very close to my natural hair color. There is a level, even though my skin is dark and my hair is dark, there is still a high level of contrast in the depth, because my hair is so deep, but it's not as deep as my skin, and my skin is not as deep as my hair. So I am an individual who is someone with a high contrast. But as we said before, so is Anne Hathaway. And we could not be so different in skin tone, yet we have the same level of contrast. I try not to confuse y'all the best that I can, but let me know if what I'm putting down you're picking up, so that I know in future videos how to kind of like word things and whatever, So if your coloring is more muted, meaning your hair color, your eye color, and your skin tone all are around the same level of depth, you're probably low contrast. One way to kind of make it easier for you to determine your level of contrast is to take a picture of yourself, smile, look all good, get your good angles or whatever, and then put a black and white filter on it, like a regular black and white filter, because there's like 50 million of them. And if you can see where all the colors kind of blend into each other, you're low contrast. If you are seeing a stark difference, you're high contrast. If it's kind of like somewhere in the middle, medium contrast. And I'm going to show you some examples here on this, well, not high, my editor is going to show you some examples, but there will be some examples on the screen. So, if you walked away from the room, now's the time to come back. So here is an example of some celebrities, because, celebrities are easier to, for you to know who the heck they are. So here's me. Not that I'm a celebrity, but I'm a celebrity in my own right. Here's me, I'm high contrast, but also Anne Hathaway, as I mentioned before, is also high contrast. And Lucy Liu is also high contrast. Viola Davis is also high contrast. I don't know how we gonna fit all these in here, but my editor figured it out. They smart people over there. We're all high contrast people, and I'm gonna put all of our pictures together side by side, and we're gonna put it in a black and white filter, and you're gonna see there's a stark difference between the whites of the eyes and the color of the iris, very, very white and then very deep toned. There's gonna be a stark difference between the skin tone and the hair color. You see that? Okay, so now let me show you some low contrast people so that you can see the difference. So here's a picture of DeWanda Wise. She's a beautiful actress. Can you see how her hair, skin, and eyes all kind of blend into each other? Even if we were to blot out the hair, you could even see that the skin and the eyes all kind of like it blends. There's not that much difference in the level of depth between these two. And then you have somebody like Eva Marcille. Marcille? Eva Marcille? Eva the Diva from, you know, if you a certain age, you remember Eva the Diva. Quite similar. You know, they're quite similar in coloring. They're different skin tones, but they still have that low contrast. Their colors still kind of blend into each other. Now, let me show you some people who are, you know, kind of in the middle to give you an idea. So here's Beyonce, and then here's the model Jasmine Jasmine Tookes. My bad if I'm butchering her name. So again, these are two women who are different skin tones, yet they're both medium contrast. So Beyonce, her skin tone is on the lighter side, but however, she has the deeper, not the deepest eye color, because I think Beyonce's eyes are like a dark hate. What color is Beyonce's eyes? This is kind of creepy, but okay, so Beyonce's eyes, they're not a deep shade, but they're also not very, very light. So you have that like there's that medium contrast, because the Beyonce's coloring versus my coloring, and I'm not talking skin tone, I'm talking the relation of your skin tone to the hair to the eye color. Mine is more of a contrast, whereas hers is not as a stark contrast. Please let me know in the comments if that is making sense to you. Now, another thing that I wanted to submit to the audience to drive the points home even further is that you can have similar levels of contrast and yet be in totally different seasons. And I find that with a lot of East Asian women that they tend to all kind of try to throw everybody into the winter category. And again, like when you know better, you do better, right? And unfortunately, some people don't know better, although they should. So a lot of East Asian women are quite light in complexion, dark in the eyes, and dark in the hair, right? Which denotes a higher level of contrast. However, there is a lot of variation that can be had, and I'm just going to show you 4 quick examples, you know, for the 4 seasons. Although technically there are 12 seasons because you got the subcategories, but we'll just do like an overall thing. So, and here we have the actress Stephanie Hsu. Hopefully that is how you pronounce her name. I did look up how to pronounce her last name and that's what came up. Hopefully it's not steering me wrong. However, looking directly at her, you might not be able to tell what season she goes in, which is why it's very important to either, you know, you buy a draping kit yourself or you go to a color professional who knows what they're doing to have your color analysis done, because just looking at her, you might not be able to spot it right away, but she's in the autumn season. And then we have actress Jamie Chung, who is in the spring season, bright spring, according to this. And without seeing Jamie Chung in person, I would also probably lean towards her being a bright spring. Well, she's in the spring category. And then this picture, I love this picture because a lot of times when you see the summer category, you quite often see white women with brown hair and blue eyes. And I just love seeing this image because it's like, y'all don't even know the half sometimes. But again, high levels of contrast. However, they're in totally different seasons than the other 2 examples that I just showed you. And then we have actress Lucy Liu, who again, me and Lucy, you know, we're both from Queens, but we don't run in the same circles. So I've never seen Lucy Liu in person. If I had to guess, I would either put her I'd have to drape her, but I feel like she would look good in dark winter colors, or at least somewhere in the winter category, whether it's bright winter or dark winter. But again, high level of contrast, just like the other 3 examples. However, she's in a different season, theoretically, because like I said, I ain't put my eyes on Lucy Liu, so you know. Now, again, we mentioned that there are 3 things that go into determining your color seasons: your undertone, your level of contrast, and then there's clarity. So clarity has to do with whether your natural coloring is more muted or if it's more saturated or bright or somewhere in between. Now, typically, if you have a higher level of contrast, you're said to have more drama in your coloring. So typically when you're someone with a higher contrast, typically your colors are going to be more saturated and on the brighter side. Not always, but typically they're going to be bolder colors. And when you have a lower contrast, typically your coloring is more muted. And so the colors that are going to look good on you in your color season is going to be a more muted season, but not always, because sometimes people can have really bright features with their eyes. And you kind of have to look at it as, you know, which one stands out more than the other. And if that sounds really like, girl, what the heck are you talking about? You definitely need to watch this video here. And just to drive the point home even further, that your skin tone, your skin color is not going to be the main factor in your personal color season is this picture right here, where a majority, if not all, of the people in this picture are a bright winter. And there's a lot of people that look like they're about the same complexion, but there's also some other skin tones mixed in there as well. Now, if you want to put this all together and go further and figure out what your personal color season is, you definitely want to check out this video right here, because I go in depth and talk about all 12 of the color seasons and who would be in those seasons. Click on it here and I will see you there.